first of all, I would like to say thank you. If you watch the videos, if you share the videos, that would be great. If you like the videos, that would be wonderful. If you, I'm going to say this quite loudly because I feel like in life we all are holding back so much, and sometimes that's obviously good, not everything out, but sometimes we hold back stuff that is actually going to be really beneficial to other people. And so that's what this work really is about. It's about the process of creation and how we are always doing that. And within that process, we are learning. And in the process of learning, we make mistakes, obviously. And we need to not be afraid of the mistakes or afraid of not being perfect. So in my videos, you will see they are far from perfect. And that's part of the point, is that in the making, in the doing, in the improving, in the getting better, there is imperfection. And there's also growth in the sharing, in the putting something out there, in the seeing it through other people's eyes, in the seeing it out, you know, in a way, I suppose, when we say something out loud, when we share something with somebody else, we hear it differently. It lands differently with us, in us. I don't think that's just unique to me. I think that's a thing. And I think that that's a big part of the process. It's like it gets to a point where it needs to go out there. And then in the doing that, it then feels different. It's I have a different relationship with it. And that helps me then develop that and grow it further, to further develop it. So that's part of this process. So yeah, and then there's part of so there's the whole idea of processing stuff, and then this stuff, obviously there's so it's even just that when we're talking about food, we've got something in its raw nature, and then something when it's kind of cooked to some degree, and then there's overcooking, there's over processing, there's the nourishment in something when it's in the different stages and the different phases. So there's all of that. Okay, and that's one thing that I just wanted to say and share. And just to say thank you if you watch the videos. And I really do feel very passionate about the work, and I do want other people to see it. So if you think this would be of any value to people, other people do feel free to give it a like, give it a share, because more people will see that. And anyways, other than that, I wanted to talk about the Humanity song. So I wrote the Humanity song. So there's two versions of it. There's the original version that I wrote back in 2023 in December, and we all know what was happening then. And so this song was written from that space, from a cry out for help as to what could I offer. And the song then, at the same time, I was overcoming my own fear of singing in public. So I would have sang with groups and workshops and all of that kind of thing, but singing on my own was literally, I would be shaking. So I've been coming to terms with that social performance anxiety, I guess. And so I sang the song in different places, people liked it and everything else, but I just didn't feel like the draw to do it or to keep doing it. And as I was recording it myself again, I realized it was an energy drop while I was singing the verses, and that the reason was because I didn't want to keep affirming what I did not want to be true, and to honor the work that I do, which is all about how we are instrumental in creating reality. I couldn't keep affirming what I wanted to be true, what I didn't want to be true, even though it was real and true. There are other things that are also real and true, and it's about that focus and that intention and that attention that we give things. And so the bigger thing of my work is really finding the balance between those two aspects of paying attention and showing up and caring, whilst also being positive and allowing for the best possible solution And obviously we're not going to always get that right, and in the process of the mistakes we learn so much, so this is a lifelong and a probably you know what I mean. Okay, so right, so what do I want to say? So there's the two versions of the songs, and both things are true. The new version is written to affirm what is also true, but is much more positive, and it's about us as human beings. It's kind of drawing from science, and the fact that we are interconnected. And in the work as well, I'm very interested in synchronicities and how synchronicities show up in our lives and how they prove to us the interconnection that we have with other people, with other things, with the broader and greater energy of life. And so, yeah. What else do I want to say? Yeah, so the two versions are there, and I've only recorded one actually, as in officially. One is on Bandcamp, and actually it's the original one, and the song "Feel Effect" is on there, and it was did have the stuff on Spotify. Unfortunately, Spotify, I don't know if you know about that, but there was some. I took my music off there, and I didn't want to. I ended my account with them. My paid account, my membership, and maybe that wasn't wise, because so many people hear music through there, but who, you know what I mean, obviously with a small name like this, there's other ways of getting yourself out there, but it is the way I think that a lot of people actually consume music, and it is still on Apple Music, and there's lots of stuff that goes with that as well. Anyways, that's the whole thing. We're interlocked, we're intertwined, and we are part of all of this together. And we're trying to figure out ways, I suppose, of creating more harmony on Earth. It's that simple, really. For me, anyway, it's like something very upsetting happened just after the lockdown. Actually, it was in the middle of the lockdown when they opened for Christmas, and it was very upsetting. Father had just died, and but what I realised from it, anyway, the takeaway from it was: do I serve love, or do I serve hate, or fear, or those very base emotions? And obviously all of the emotions have a place, they're important, they have validity, we have feelings, we have to feel them, we have to accept them. They give us information, they give us guidance, they let us know where we are, and it's very, very key to our experience to not be afraid of our emotions and to be honest with ourselves about when we're feeling them. But it's also very important to try and steer ourselves authentically, realistically, with compassion, in the direction that we actually want to be going. I just feel like that is a big part of what I'm passionate about, and why I make this work, and why I share this work, and why I have to make this work. And there is a lot of confusion, obviously, in the world, and there's a lot of information and misinformation and disinformation, cross wires, and there's just so much informing us. And then it's like, how do we stay rooted whilst also taking part, and interacting and enjoying as well, like life, because life is, what is it if there's no pleasure or joy in it? Then within our experiencing life and our outputting as electromagnetic being, we are outputting vibration, we are outputting frequency, we are outputting, an atmospheric sort of resonance. So that's also important. So it's that balancing again of those aspects of being realistic valuable information on where we are at and how we actually are thinking. Sometimes, because a lot of our thoughts are unconscious, and it's those feelings and it's those interactions that give us that knowledge and help us see our blind spots, which is a big part of the work. Because if we're not open to seeing our blind spots, we just keep getting tripped up, I think. Or, we won't go into that too much, but below. But again thank you for listening if you've got this far, and do like, share, subscribe. All of those things help people see the videos and push it up on the algorithm. And I mean, part of me wants people to see the work and enjoy the work, and if it helps them, sometimes I look out into the world for something to help me, and other times I need to create it. And I think that's what we are all doing together, and it's this sort of push and pull and creation and processing and transmutation of stuff, all of these different